Okay, hi everybody, Happy New Year. And this is our first spoken world online show for 2023 and 147 weeks in a row since the show debuted in March 2020. And today is January 3rd, and the Roarshock Almanac tells us that J.R.R. Tolkien was born on this day in 1892 in the Orange Free State. In 1946, Lord Haha William Joyce was hanged for treason in London. In 1977, Apple Computer was incorporated. And in 2009, the first block of the blockchain Bitcoin, called the Genesis block, was established by Satoshi Nakamoto. So in 2022, I had the fortune to take some amazing journeys, and I had a number of poems came out of those journeys, long poems, and I'm going to read just a section of one of them today. And this is called Roarshock Public Transportation Poem. And I'm going to start with the quote that inspired the poem. This is attributed to the mad Scotsman of the Tenderloin, who wrote, "This is my public transportation poem. Fuck Muni, fuck BART, fuck Southwest Airlines." And here's the center section of my poem. When time to leave Paris, I have discovered it easier to ride the bus to Gare du Nord rather than the metro. I board the Thalys fast train to Amsterdam. Across from me on either side of a train table are four fashionable Dutch women with many bags from fancy Paris shops. The older woman, obviously in charge, and she has the money. The younger women, all three have glossy lips that protrude in perpetual pout. These girls have had injections of Botox. It is not an attractive look. And they have been on a shopping trip to Paris. The train was delayed leaving Gare du Nord for unspecified technical reasons. As we approach Rotterdam, it is announced the train will only go to Schiphol, not Amsterdam Centraal, as originally scheduled. The train begins to roll out from Rotterdam. A man walks along the platform, slapping the windows of the coach. A woman seated in front of me exclaims, "My husband!" The conductor tells her, "Too late to stop the train. You will have to catch the next one, meet her in Amsterdam. But I have all this luggage," she laments. He is not answering his cell phone. Oh, why did he get off the train? At Schiphol Airport, everybody off the train. Worried lady disappears in crowd. Tramp across the platform to crowd on a local commuter train. Takes us those last few kilometers into Amsterdam. I carry my bags and walk to the hotel. In Amsterdam, on the trams, the mechanical voice sounds like a jolly gentleman, announcing the stops in Dutch, reminding you to tag out when exiting in English. They have a modern subway, runs deep under the city, seeming modest compared to the Paris Metro, London Tube, and New York City subway. Still to come. More like Muni Metro, a miniature version of BART. Exit the system at De Pipe. But Albert Cup Market closed Sundays, and find today the city split in two for running of the Amsterdam Marathon. Friends and family along the route urge the runners on. Eurostar on to London, in Brussels, herded through British customs, speeding through the Channel, emerge in London daylight, St. Pancras International and King's Cross Station, have a room nearby at the California Hotel, central locale, to explore London via the tube and those double-decker buses. A week, and I would say I'd barely know the London transit grid. But make it to Houston on a rainy Sunday morning in a first-class ticket to Liverpool. Voices behind me in the carriage, a man talking up a young lady, and they talked and drank and yelled all the way to Liverpool. But they had just met on the train. She said she was a barrister. He, an online model. Across from them, an older fellow, they called him Uncle John, a musician from Liverpool, who asked if perhaps he should get Botox injections. Our loud young man said it was a one-way street when they give you that first injection. Our barrister giggled that she loved having full kissable lips. They went by to find the bar car for more wine. I briefly saw the slender young blonde woman with the full-lipped Play-Doh face and the very handsome plastic boy. They came back with another boy in tow, Alfie, who they found sitting on the floor in second class. So they brought him up to first and sat him with them to banter with and see if they could corrupt him. Alfie's not sitting on the floor in second class, not on my watch, our online model declared. Alfie was 18, on his way to apprenticeship in a Welsh mechanical concern. He could not possibly miss his connecting train, or he would lose his apprenticeship. The ride continued with polarity. The two were gone back down to the bar. When we reached Alfie's stop, he left with his bag. "Where's Alfie?" in alarm when they got back. A new porter got on board, a French porter. He unceremoniously moved John's bag from the seat on which it had been sitting upon. John was extremely bothered by this. Words were exchanged. Porter said he was going to throw John off the train at the next stop. John said, "If you get off the train with me." The porter left and returned with a burly conductor who told John he had threatened a railroad employee. If he didn't get off the train, he would be met in Liverpool by the police. Uncle John did not get off the train, said it was a bluff. He said to the other two, "When we get to Liverpool, if they are there, we must." "Not we, John, you must." "I miss Alfie." The train arrived in Liverpool. I hoisted my bags. Walking along the platform from the other direction came the French porter, the burly conductor, and 4 police officers. I conjure things might not have gone well for Uncle John that day. Found my hotel and had time to walk around the old port city. And early next morning from Liverpool Lime Street on the train to Chester, switched to North Wales Coast Railway, Railford, Arfordir, Goulgley, Camus, to Lundono Junction and Bonu Fistanog. Signs now in 2 languages, English not the first, and no sign of the British flag. I am in a new country. Switched to Lloyd's coach buses for travel on to Porthmadog and Portmeirion, riding with the locals. For me, a truly new landscape in an ancient land. And back again on the bus to Bangor, I noticed the prehistoric stone circle just over there in the field, next to the fork in the road. Those short old dudes walking along the high street, they know something about it. The train ends in Holyhead at the end of Wales, in the howling wind and the old tavern and rooms by the ferry terminal to wait the night, hear and share stories with weathered sailors on this far outpost of the old world. And I just published the entire poem on my website, and I will post the link in the chat. Thank you for listening, everybody.